I think my cat saw a bird or something. I don't know if you can hear that, but anyway, anyway, yeah, I'd like to answer a question that a lot of us non-religious individuals perhaps ask ourselves on a daily basis, and that is, what the hell is the point of all this, right? Finding purpose is, it's kind of ironic, actually, that we as humans, as conscious beings, we crave purpose, we crave validation for our existence, right? But the universe has not provided us of this sort of thing, and it's this kind of juxtaposition between the cold indifference of the universe um, and the human spirit that gives us a hard time surviving. In fact, I don't know where I heard this from, but uh, some person wrote that consciousness was an evolutionary mistake. And I mean, thinking about that, I mean, it seems true. I mean, look at animals, right? They're not conscious, they're not self-aware, and yet they have absolutely no problems with living and finding purpose in themselves, because for their own purpose is just survival, reproduction. What else do you need, right? But we humans, no, we gotta make things complicated, don't we? We gotta think about our place in the world. We gotta think about why we need to. We gotta think about what is there for us to do, right? Otherwise, we slip into depression, nihilism, worse things. uh, so what is there for us? I can't answer this question for you. It's just simple. I mean, in my previous video, if I recall correctly, I simply said that you have to keep going. I didn't say why, just that you have to, right? Because I mean, the only option you have besides living is, well, not sure if I can say this word, but yeah, but that, as far as you're concerned, that's not an option, right? Um. Anyway, I I didn't intend for this video to be so dark and melancholic, but anyway, my point is that since the universe may be cold and unforgiving, and since you can't necessarily find external validation, you won't always be able to find a reason outside of yourself to keep going. That means you need to create a reason yourself, right? If you don't have something, you make it, right? And if you can't buy it, then you make it. Sorry, I don't know. That was just some random metaphor I just made up on the spot there. Anyway, my point is that you kind of have to accept that there's nothing for you out there. You kind of have to stop looking for purpose. You kind of not necessarily stop looking for it, but just, like I said, accept that there probably won't be one for long periods of time. It's like, let me give you an example. Like, I'm sure for a decent part of your life, you've been wondering why we exist, why we are here on this planet, right? Why what the purpose of life is, basically. That the eternal question, right? I'm sure, like that. I know. I pondered this question for a long time myself, but um, the conclusion that I came to is that there literally is no reason. Like, we are just here. We're kind of doing our own thing until we die, and then that's it. Like there's no greater purpose above yourself, and we might think that there is, but I mean, if you think rationally, if you think about the sort of stimuli that we get from the sort of things that we observe in the universe, right? Um, we see that there's just kind of nothing, right? We're not the center of the universe, not by a long stretch. We're not. It's naive to think that we're special in any way just because we have consciousness, because we can think. The world, the nothing, no, nothing outside of ourselves that cares about us, if that makes sense. Like, we could get wiped out in like an instant as a species, and it's like it just wouldn't matter. Like, the universe would keep going. But anyway, that's not my point. My point is that once you accept this fact, once you accept this, then living becomes easier. Once you realize that things don't really matter, I mean, you can take that one of two ways, right? You could take it, you could take it negatively, and you could take it positively, right? If you think about it positively, and you finally realize in your mind that things don't necessarily matter, and that things that you generally like to put value on don't matter, that frees you, you know? That that gives you opportunities. It removes burdens and things that stop you inside, right? If you if you realize that how people think of you is completely, like, it doesn't matter, like, it's completely irrelevant to you, to to anything, really. um then you'll stop being afraid of how people of you'll stop being afraid of people. You'll stop being afraid of perception, or stop being afraid of judgment. And yeah, once you just realize that things don't matter, it can be free. It's cool. Now, at the same time, you don't want to take that too far. You don't want to completely um, give up, so to speak. This is the negative aspect that I was talking about just now. If you realize that things don't matter, you might start thinking, "What's the point of anything?" You might stop taking care of yourself. You might stop doing anything, because I mean, in the long run, nothing fucking matters, right? But I think we are given this life, maybe not for us to achieve anything, right? Maybe there isn't a purpose, but that doesn't mean that life isn't worth anything. We have this life to do something with it, and we have to realize that that's powerful. You could, if you get rid of your inhibitions, if you manage to get rid of those factors that limit you, that stop you from doing the things that you want to do, then you can achieve great things. And sure, those things might not matter in the long run. Maybe once you're gone, you'll be forgotten, like most of the people who've ever lived. But while you're alive, you can do anything you want. I'm sure this might sound like some stupid primary school motivational bullshit, but genuinely, like, You remember back in like year 2, year 3, whatever. Remember when you had a dream back before the education system crushed all of them, and before you knew that the world was as cold and unjust as it is? Remember those days? Well, that little that little voice is still alive inside of you. I promise you that. And it'll do you some good to listen to that voice and rediscover what it was that drove you back in those days. So yeah, that's about all I wanted to say, I guess. Sorry that this video is a bit darker and probably a bit less cohesive. I was just kind of saying what I thought in the moment, and well, that's what most of my videos are anyway. So yeah. Well, I hope you learned something, and I hope I helped you out. Um, I appreciate you watching the video, of course, as always. I appreciate you doing the things you do, subscribing, whatever, right? But yeah, that's gonna be it. See ya.